This video is for students, and it's going to be about assignments, specifically about using Ally, how to submit something, what grading looks like from the instructor's point of view, and the feedback that those students get from that grading. So let's go ahead and log in. Go to MyCGCC, go into the student portal. I've logged in with this student before, so it automatically logged me in. That's fine. Go to Moodle, go to Moodle. So we're going to go to this chemistry class over here. So you can find it here. For this student, it's under its My Courses. And so we'll go to the sandbox. And this student is going to be submitting homework number 1. So I'm going to scroll down until I get to the homework. And here's homework number 1. And you can see the student has this assignment due on Wednesday, the 28th of September. And it's due in 10 days and 14 hours. The homework is a Word document. They want to complete the assignment and submit your work as a PDF here by clicking the Add Submission button. So here's the Add Submission button. And this alternative format thing is important. In case you can't read a Word document, you can click this alternative formats, and this is the Ally program. You can download as a PDF or as an HTML or several other formats, including audio format. This doesn't just apply to assignments. If an instructor has posted some notes, doesn't matter what format, PDF or Word document or HTML, maybe they posted like a paper and they need you to read that, want you to read that, you can download that as an MP3 file. It's not like a professionally read audiobook, it's computer generated, but it usually does a halfway decent job. So maybe you could listen to something while you're driving or possibly while you're, doing the dishes or mowing the lawn. So Ally, you have other options if you can't strictly read a Word document, although all Word documents can be read by using OpenOffice or LibreOffice, and that works for Mac or PC or Linux. So you have options. All right, so this person is going to submit this homework. So I'm going to add submission. And you get this box where you can drag if you've got a file in a folder. We're going to click and get this other dialog box. And we're going to open up. And okay, so here's Comet's homework as a PDF. So we'll go ahead and submit that. And we're going to upload that file. And it'll either look like this in its details format, or if you click on this one, it'll look like that if it's in the tile format. So when you submit it, it's either going to be this little tile-y thing or this little details format. And then we're going to go ahead and save changes. And there we go. So Comet has submitted this homework assignment. All right, so now what I want is you to see what it looks like from the instructor's point of view. So here we have the instructor's course. So you can see the instructor's name up here. I've toggled off the sidebar to give myself a little bit more space. It was a little cramped. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to, where is homework? There we go. Oop, past it. Homework 1. And you can see that there's one participant and that there's one submitted and that one needs to be graded. Okay, so let's view all the submissions, all the 1 submissions that we've got. All right, so here's Comet Test Student, and they have submitted this and it needs to be graded. So this is what the instructor is going to see when they submit this file. So there's 2 pages, 1 page, 2 page, and it's homework number 1, and you can vary the size as the instructor. Get now to a better size here. Okay, so you can input the grade right here. You can type in feedback here, and you've got the what you see is what you get editor up here. So I don't know, we'll just type in something. Thank you for your submission. All right, and so over here, the way that an instructor can leave feedback, there's several different ways. So they could do things like this, put a stamp on, and that answer is wrong. So you could see something like that, or possibly maybe a smiley face, like that answer is right, or they got a laugh out of whatever it was you wrote. There could be something highlighted or the squiggly line allows them to write. So let me show you how that works. So comment here made a mistake. These are backwards. So as the instructor, I could come in here and write, actually the answer is 12.3 liters divided by 25 millimeters of mercury divided by 80 millimeters of mercury. And that's going to equal, what will that equal? 12.3, grab a calculator, 12.3 times 25 divided by 80. Okay, so this is 3 significant figures. So 3.84. So you could get some feedback like that from the instructor, and you'll actually see that written on the paper. Another way to do this is they could use a sticky note. This one makes it so you don't have to have one of these writing tablets. So maybe the instructor does something like this and says, you inverted into there you go. Okay, so I have this little comment about them making a mistake with that. So then the instructor could come down here, like, okay, so that answer is correct. So maybe it's just a green or something like that, and they're like check box, or maybe it's one of these smiley faces. Oops, one of these smiley faces, something like that. Got that one correct. And then okay, you made a mistake here. So instructor comes over and says something like Kelvin. This calculation needs to be done in the Kelvin temperature units, can't be done in degrees Celsius. And so maybe that's all you get. You're gonna have to go back and do a calculation in the Kelvin range, or in the Kelvin scale. This one looks good, and that looks good, and that answer looks good. Okay, so that's great. And then over here, 30 degrees Celsius, that's the right answer. All right, so maybe that's what you get, something like that. All right, so we've entered feedback as a sticky note, writing stuff down as stamps, and I guess I could also put in like a highlighter. So remember, this was, oops, didn't mean to do that. I wish there was an undo, but there's not. So you actually have to go in and like click on these small things. Let the person know that they were supposed to see that degree C. Okay. And I'm gonna put in the grade here. So, well, I got a couple wrong, so maybe 4 out of 5. And then we'll save that change. Okay, let's go back and see what the student sees. All right, so here we are back on comments class. So we'll go ahead and refresh this page. And when we refresh the page, you can see that this is now graded. And it's not super intuitive. You have to scroll down past this, the submission button. And so you can see that this was graded by Rob Kovacic. And the feedback comment, remember we wrote this in that little side thing. So as a student, you'll see that those comments written there. And then let's go ahead and, this is the annotated PDF. So let's see what this looks like. We can click on this, and then we can go ahead and open that file. And so here's you can see all the notations that were made with the actual pen. And then you can see some of the stamps and the highlighting that happens on these problems. Okay, and then this note here, we put this in a sticky note and we type something in there about having these pressure measurements inverted, and all it says is 1, 1. So how do we find that? You go all the way to the bottom and it says 1, 1. Inside that box, it's supposed to say, or it says, you inverted the 2 pressure units, volume should go down, not up. So that's where you're going to find these little sticky notes are going to be at the bottom, like as a footnote. But that first sticky note, 1.1, the only sticky note in this case, applies to this particular question. So you might get one of these sticky notes in the middle of a calculation or in the middle of a paragraph, and you need to scroll all the way to the end to see what that means. So it's probably a little less easy than writing stuff, but sometimes you just don't have the space to write, and you wouldn't be able to read it if there was a bunch of text there. So those are different ways you can see feedback written. That's all I have for this video. Thank you.